Howdy! What's good, everybody? It's your boy Romanpuss here. The 6th anniversary celebrations have finally begun. Now, they have started off with the kickstart of EX Garp with Galaxy Impact, Galaxy Divide, and whatever that other ability is that he has. He's a phenomenal unit. He's probably the best unit in the game. Many people are fearful he's going to be short-lived, but we don't know yet. So we'll see. I'm going to run over the overall guide and the notes about him, who counters him, and who doesn't. He's an overall kind of slow ramping. I like to think of him as a train. He starts off slow, but once he gets going, he's an absolute monster, and he's very, very difficult to stop. Without further ado, let's get started and dive into it. All right, you guys, real quick, here is his traits and skills. I just want to make sure you guys familiarize yourself with those right now, as I'm not directly going over them, so make sure you get a look up on that. Okay, first thing up is the stat recommendations. Now, this one I've actually kind of struggled with because he has double kind of benefits from... He has benefits from all stats, really. I mean, some characters do, some characters don't, but definitely you want some attack on him. I'll deal with, if you have 18%, I'm going to assume some people are able to get full 18% sets out. Many people are veteran players. If you're a newer player, I'll let you know for your 14% that you're going to want to just focus attack and then focus probably HP secondary if you can. So if you're only dealing with 14%, that means you can only max out one stat, which would be attack, and then to put whatever the rest into HP. Now, if you have 18%, I honestly think something like a 54, 54, 54 spread could be ideal. If you have 24% to work with, that could be very useful as well. But since you become so tanky, now keep in mind, it takes you 10 hits to get maxed out on your defense stat because you get 5% per hit and you max out at 50. So 10 hits to max out on defense stats buff. And then your 75% attack buff maxes out at 15 hits. So you just need to hit something, anything, 15 times, and you'll have both stats maxed out for your buffs that you have going for you, as long as they don't get removed. So just keep an eye out for that on whether someone's able to remove that or not. So I do think 54% attack, 54% HP, 54% defense. The reason being is the higher your defense, the harder it is to break your shield, which a lot of units cannot if you have high enough defense. Now this comes if you are a more veteran player and are around the 160% support range. Well, him being dark might be a little bit lower. If you're between 150 and 160, it might be a little bit of a different story. So it's probably around like 150, between 150 and 160 would be fine as a dark character, because there's not most people don't have their dark support very high yet. I am at 160 for those of you guys who are curious, and with the amount of money that I've spent on this game, so just kind of a little perspective for you. So 54, 54, 54 for him. Again, remember, if you're 14% and you're lower kind of support player, look, I would go with the max attack and then put whatever else into defense or HP, because if you don't have very high support and you don't have very high whatever else metal traits and stuff, metal sets, then you're better off to at least be able to kill something. If you're not going to be able to tank either way, even if you're maxed out, so you might as well just be able to kill something. So that's what I say for that. That's going to be your best bet. Now let's talk about his pros. He has ignoring of damage reduction on his skills. He has an attack buff, 75% by the way. He has a defense buff, 50% by the way. He has a shield of 30% of his HP overall, which is why I recommend you build HP, because you get more HP, you get a bigger shield, and if you have more defense, shield's also tankier as well because of your defense buffs as well. So like it can be kind of just hard just to break the shield, and then people keep getting staggered. So having your shield up makes you insane. And then you have 80% status reduction, which makes it so someone like a snake can't keep you down for too long. You have a constant shield respawn, so if you just knock someone down, you get your 1% of your shield back, which is big, and allows you to stagger the opponent if they go and hit it and break it and they don't have an anti-stagger. You are also immune to debuffs while you're on a flag. So I think any flag, it doesn't matter. So if you have a debuff currently on, you can just walk on a flag and it'll get removed and you'll be golden. And from there, you're able to just keep smashing. You just keep punching with your fist. It actually feels so good. I don't know why his basic attacks feel so good in this game, but I absolutely love it. All right, now let's talk about some cons. Honestly, I think he only has one con. It's just the fact that he's kind of a slow starter when he's beginning. So there are certain characters who you need to watch out for. Or if you're going and fighting another Garp himself, if another one that's already stacked, you got to be careful because he can kill you. So just be careful. It's a constant, like, kill or be killed when you're playing Garp. So without your shield, you're very vulnerable. You got to play very carefully, and you need to play a little more conservatively when your shield is down and you don't have any skills up. So just watch out for that. Be careful if you're fighting. Now, someone like Green Roger, I do think you fight him relatively easily, but if he is stacked and you are not, that can cause a problem because he has no problem breaking your shield. And he has no problem killing you either. So be careful of that. He is invincible during his combo. Sorry, he has invincibility as well. Other EXs can be problematic just because they are invincible. Now let's talk about the characters you are strong against. Now I'm going to say a solid 98% of the overall character roster in the game right now because everything old just sucks, obviously. Some of the main things that kind of pop up are light Shanks. You absolutely dominate. Both, I think a lot of the Shanks, even green Shanks, you dominate. Shanks, any Shanks unit, you pretty much will have no trouble with. Rogers, both dark and green. The green one will be more problematic. The dark one is not really an issue at all for you. So, dark one, you can kill. Make sure you use your skills to hit him and kill him for the final hit so you don't have to worry about his revive. On top of that, the giants, they're big, they're bulky, they're really easy to kill. You have your shield. They don't have a shield. It's a piece of cake. Now there are other units that you can easily destroy, but that's just kind of some main ones. An example. I'm not gonna say you're like super strong against someone like S Snake. Like you can kill her, but she can kill you. So really, I think once you get to level 100, it's such a big difference on how he plays and how much tankier he is and gets, and it helps a lot. So there are units that you easily destroy and kill, but you just got to be careful and pick and choose your battles wisely. Alright, now this is probably why most of you would even watch this video right here, is the Garp Counters. Now, Homeboy is, I think, as of this moment of the release of this video, I think he has two main counters. And that's Red Runner Yamato, because she excels against fighting attackers, and she's impossible to kill. And Garp cannot kill people who are impossible to kill. So people like Kozuki Odin, I actually do want to throw him on here too. You don't really get to see him very much, and I haven't actually struggled with Odin that much, but Odin can kill Garp very easily, so watch out for Light Odin, Red Runner Yamato. I think both of those I had actually put as counters. I kind of forgot Light Odin, and I didn't think of it until right this moment. So Light Odin, Red Runner Yamato, those two can smash, especially since Yamato has anti-heal, can help like slow, because it's 45 seconds, so Garp can't get rid of it like right away, but 80% of 45 seconds, whatever's left after that. And the other one's Blue Kaido. I found can be very annoying if you let him stack and he actually has like a good support. So Blue Kaidos can be problematic. Most of the time not. And if you're fully stacked, you can kill Blue Kaido relatively easily. The problem is he stacks really quickly at the beginning of the game. You do not stack very quickly. So if you go to just fight him right off the bat at the beginning of the game, he's more than likely going to beat you because he just has a lot of annoying things that break through your shield, and you don't have enough oomph at the very beginning to get through his 70% defense buff. So you can kill him when you're buffed. So save him for later. Come back to him once you're ready and you're like charged up and strong enough. Remember, as I said, once you get like running in that train, you are a train, but you got that really slow start at the beginning. So once you get that, start cooking, ramp up, and go beat that Kaido's cheeks later on. Now, many of you are going to yell at me about these other units, but from my experience, I haven't found them to be like absolute counters. But here are some other notable mentions of characters that can do well against Garp and kill him, provided he's either like caught off guard or he played it wrong, like slightly wrong. So things like that. But otherwise, I want to throw out like Jabra, the green attacker, the Wolf Boy. So there's him. You have Ace Yamato unit, the red attacker. You have the blue attacker, Kogra. And then the last one that I want to mention is Albert, the blue or red attacker. Geez, words. So those are some notables that can kill him. Albert generally has to use both of his skills in order to get through his shield. So you had to use one skill to break the shield and one skill to like one-shot Garp. So Albert can just getting through that is a little bit difficult, and Garp can easily kill Albert. It's really not that hard. So it's kind of just who gets a jump on the other, like one of the other first. So that's really all it comes down to. It's kind of just like gambling. It's like a hit or miss, like who is able to hit the other first. So that's my overall like counters and notable mentions and stuff. So I wouldn't mention those last ones as counters, but they're up there. All right, now let's talk about some medal recommendations. You have a variety of options. I really think just damage increase and damage reduction are really the only two that you need. Your skills are relatively short cooldown. I don't think you need to go crazy on those. I was running, I think, my knockback Luffy, my like Zoan Luffy with my other Luffy medals, like just that's all I was running on him. I think I have damage increase and some knockback heals, like that's all. So he's very not niche, so you can just use generic medals on him or whatever. So just try and find some tags, I guess. Try and find some traits that go together, give you some damage increase. Luffy's a good one. Kaido set's fine. I threw this Kata set up there because it's a good damage increase and damage reduction, so that one's really good. The enemy flag set, I threw that Luffy, and then there's that Luffy Lucci, and then there's the Egghead Luffy one on there. There's the CP9 options if you want to check out those. Just check for the CP9 or the 6 powers tag. That's going to be there. You can just filter by that when you're searching. These other good options are Vegapunks, come with damage reduction, damage increase. Those are, if you would like to run those, check those out. Those mix match those. And then the Seraphim sets are really good, I think, as well, with current kind of units and units that are showing up in rebanners at the point of this video. So that's kind of where those will be. I'm trying to mix up these medals and medal options, so we'll see what other combinations we can come up with. So that is my overall Garp guide, you guys. I hope you guys found this useful. He is not too crazy to play. He takes a second to get used to once you like know what traits you're going to activate and win, but it's not that long. I think he's very fun to play because you're constantly killing. You're constantly dying a little bit too. At level 80, you're much squishier. But when you saw this, that first game in this video was a level 100, whoo, yeah, it's kind of nutty. So that's all I have, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe. It would help me a lot. Check out my Twitch, Twitter, and Discord. I'm always playing games over on Twitch as well. There are other games besides OPBR. So let me know how you feel, and let me know if you have any questions. I'll be sure to answer them down below, and I hope to hear from you guys. So that's all I have. Hope you have a good one. Yeah, holy! Peace, beautiful people.